Now, there's somebody here today to show you an eye-opening demonstration about the water we drink and this remarkable machine from Japan. His name is Bob Gridelli. Hey, Bobby, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you, Pat.
Why don't you take over?
Great, I will. So I want to welcome everybody, and I'm going to go into the demonstration here, and I'm going to show you the 3 unique properties of this water and why it's so very special. The first property I'm going to show you is what's called the ORP, which stands for the oxidation reduction potential. And we're going to show you that with a meter that shows whether a liquid has a positive ORP or a negative ORP. And if it has a positive ORP, that means it's bad for you, or it's oxidizing, or aging, or rusting. We all know what that is, right? And so if it has a negative ORP, that's what makes it a powerful antioxidant. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to pour some of these liquids first. And we're going to start with Dasani. And these are, we just put together an array of liquids that most people drink, right? Did you drink any of this? Dasani? How about Aquafina? Yes. I think I used to drink all of these. And how about Smart Water? Yes?
My holistic doctor gave me.
Your holistic doctor. Okay. I'll show you what I call it in a little bit. How about the Arrowhead sparkling water? Yes? Anyone like that water?
They have different flavors.
That's why I kind of like those, all the flavors. Actually, this was my favorite water. It's called Alive. In a second, you'll see what I call it. How about sports drinks, Gatorades? Yes, everybody like those? I used to drink a lot of sports drinks because, you know, you see athletes drinking it, so it must be good for us. How about sodas? Do any of you drink sodas?
Not anymore.
Okay, and this is just tap water. Anybody drink tap water? And then this is Kangen water. Okay, so this is the pinpoint ORP meter. Now we're going to test the ORP of the Dasani. So notice Dasani is over 215 right now. Now we go to the Aquafina. How's the Aquafina? Go over 220 and climbing. How about the Smart Water? Over 230 and climbing. How about Arrowhead? Over 315 and climbing, getting worse. Alive Water. This was one of my favorite ones. 400, now I call it dead water. How about Gatorade? Any of you drink Gatorade? Like 393 and climbing. So remember, the worse, the more positive it is, the worse it is. How about 7-Up? Now, all sodas are pretty much the same, just we use light colored. So you'll see 394 and climbing. How about the tap water? 325. Here's the star of the show, you guys. Look at negative what? Negative 400. Wow. Now negative 426. So as you can see, when it has a negative, this is the only water that has a negative. That's why they call it negative water in Japan. That's why they use it in hospitals over there, because all the positive ones are oxidizing, aging, rusting, bad, internally on the body. But the negative water is neutralizing the free radicals, so that's why we want to drink this water and hydrate your body on a regular basis. The next property I'm going to show you, the water, is we're going to go over here and we're going to test these waters for the pH of the water. So pH stands for potential hydrogen. And we have a little chart here where I'm going to show you, and we're going to put a few drops in these waters. And we're going to show whether they are on the acidic side or the alkaline side. We'll just put a couple drops in each one of them. We have a nice little pretty colorful display today, right? And we'll kind of stir these up real quick so you can get a better look, and then I'll show each one of them. Let's clean that off. Let's clean it off each time. Okay. So let's go start here with the Dasani water, and we'll use this pH chart here and show. So the Dasani is what?
Very acidic.
On the acidic side, right? How about the Aquafina? Also acidic. How about the Smart Water? A little better, but still acidic, right? How about the Arrowhead Sparkling? Oop. Very acidic. How about the Alive Water?
Very acidic.
That's why I call it dead water now. How about the Gatorade?
Oh,
Very acidic.
Also very acidic. And how about the 7-Up?
very acidic.
Bet you didn't know you were drinking so many acidic things, did you? How about tap water? So right around neutral, right? So tap water is always going to be neutral to slightly alkaline because it's federally regulated by the government. So besides, the chlorine, the fluorides, they put lye in the water, which is a pH of 14, very alkaline, to raise the pH of our city water, the tap water, because if it were acidic, it would rust the pipes. So I don't think they're concerned about our pipes. They're concerned about the city pipes. So that's why it's always going to be in that range. So let's move on to the Kangen water. Now here's the star of the show. What is the Kangen water? Very alkaline, right? So with a touch of a button, we can change the alkalinity, and this one is 9.5 pH. So we all know that we should be slightly alkaline, right? Our body, because we're over 75% water. Unfortunately, look what we're drinking today, and the foods we're eating, and the air we're breathing. And so when you drink this water on a regular basis, just think about your bodily fluids, right? Now watch what happens. What did we just do? Just with a little of the water, we neutralize that and raise the pH of the water. We'll go to the Aquafina. Notice. How about the Smart Water? Notice I'm just putting in a little bit, right? So imagine when you're drinking this on a regular basis, what happened to the Arrowhead water?
Oh, it didn't even.
It was struggling, and then it went right back to acidity. That's because it's very acidic. Notice the Alive Water. No change. How about the Gatorade? Also no change. How about the 7-Up? So now we'll go over to the tap water. Notice it changed pretty easily, right? So now when you're drinking this water on a regular basis, that's what it's going to help your body to do to balance your pH. Now, I'm going to take the 7-Up here. Now it's already diluted, right? Watch what happens. Now think about you're drinking this on a regular basis. Watch what happens when we just add a little bit of that. Notice it takes it right back to an acidic state, just with a few drops. If you're drinking these things, ladies, and these are all pretty much in the same range, watch the Kangen water.
Wow.
We just destroyed the Kangen water with a little bit of diluted soda. If you're drinking sodas, this is right around the pH of about 2.5, which makes it about 50,000 times more acidic if you were starting over here at the neutral point. So that's how acidic it is. And I'm just going to show you real quick. This came from Wellness Magazine. And it says, what does it show the equivalent of soda is?
Battery acid.
It shows soda equals battery. Your battery in your car, the acid level of the battery in your car equivalent to soda. So imagine, if we want to stay on the alkaline side, you definitely don't want to drink anything like this, right? So as you can see now, that's the second property of the water that makes Kangen water so very special and why you want to be hydrating your body on a regular basis. So now I get to show you the third property of the water, which is microclustering of the molecules. And so regular water, like tap water, is about 15 to 20 molecule clusters, whereas Kangen water is about 4 to 6 clusters, so much smaller. And you're going to get to see a visual when I show you that with these green tea bags. So this is Yamamoto green tea. It's a tea that I like. And so we're going to go ahead and put one of these in here in the first cup. And what do you have to normally do to make tea? You have to heat the water. So we're going to take room temperature tap water. And notice what's happening.
Nothing.
It's not making tea, is it? That's because you have to boil the water to make tea. So we're going to take another tea bag and we're going to take the Kangen water. Notice what happens. What's happening to that tea bag? It's making tea instantly. Watch what happens when I go to pour again. instant tea, right? The smaller molecules are penetrating the tea bag and drawing the tea out of the tea bag. Okay, let's take one. How about if we go back to tap water? No tea, right? So it's not a magic show, so you understand. It's just the molecules are too big to draw the tea out of there. We'll go back to Kangen water. Notice how it's drawing tea out of the tea bag. And notice this tea bag's still struggling over here, right? So let's take it back over here and let's see if we can get tea out of it. Notice instant tea with the Kangen water. So I think you can understand with the microclustering of the molecules being 4 to 6 clusters, much smaller, how it's drawing the tea out of the tea bag. Now imagine when you're drinking this water on a regular basis, it's hydrating the body better. This water will actually reach the brain in 60 seconds, every part of the skin in 10 minutes. It will penetrate the cells much easier, carry nutrients into the cells, and carry waste products out of the cells. So I think you can see that drinking Kangen water with the negative ORP, right, the alkalinity, and the microclustering of the molecules, this should be the water of choice for everybody to drink because it's far superior water and beneficial for the body. Now we're going to show you some other properties of the water that we can use for different purposes in your home. And what we're going to do is we're going to use some tomatoes here that I just got at the grocery store. So these are some Nature's Sweet tomatoes. And how do you normally clean your fruits and vegetables at home? You rinse them in the tap water, right? So we're going to take these Nature's Sweet tomatoes, and I'll try to pluck these out really quick. And you rinse them in the tap water, right? So we're just going to simulate that by pouring some tap water in here. You ladies didn't know you were going to do a little taste test today, did you? And we're going to take another bag of the Nature's Sweet tomatoes, and we're going to soak them in what's called strong Kangen water. And strong Kangen water is at a pH of about 11, 11.5. And the reason I put it in a black container is because 3 things affect the properties of the water. That is air, light, and movement. So we always store them in black containers when we make the water and we're going to use them. So we'll just soak some of the tomatoes with the 11.5 strong Kangen water. And while those are soaking, we'll let those sit there for just a minute. And we're going to take some, this is pure sesame oil. And we're going to take some sesame oil, and I'm going to show you while those are soaking what this water can do to the sesame oil. Now what happens, basic science, what happens when you mix water and oil?
They don't mix, they separate.
It doesn't mix, right? So notice how it's starting to separate. So watch when I take the same oil and put the strong Kangen water in there.
Oh, wow.
What just happened?
Emulsified.
It emulsified or it mixed the oil. So we're going to show you today with this water how you can use it for different purposes at home to clean your produce. You can also use it, put it in a black spray bottle like I do, and clean the house with it. So we're all concerned about the chemicals in our home, right? So we can now get rid of all those chemicals and make water that you can use as a degreaser, a cleaner, your 409. You can replace all of those. So let's go back to the tomatoes. How about that? So remember, these were soaking in the tap water and simulating how you clean them at home. And I'm just going to scoop them out of here and try not to make a mess. Okay. That's the tap water. We'll set them right there. And then we're going to do a little taste test. Are you ladies up for a taste test today? Okay, let's get I call these Kangen tomatoes. Now, notice the difference. So, you thought you cleaned your tomatoes in the tap water, right? But did you really?
No.
Notice what just came off the tomatoes.
Everything.
Herbicides, pesticides, oxidation, anything that's on the produce, because they use oil-based pesticides that don't wash off in the rain. So guess what? Regular water doesn't have the ability to take those off, but Kangen water has the ability to take them off, just like it broke down the oil over here. So let's go ahead and let's pass these around. We're going to go ahead and have each one of you grab one of the Kangen tomatoes, I call them. And let's do a little taste test. Those are kind of big, so you might not want to bite them in half. I would just bite the whole thing, or you might get tomato on you. And so we're going to let them try the Kangen tomatoes really quick. Hey guys, I'm Italian, and I didn't used to like tomatoes. That's pretty sad, right? But guess what? I found out it wasn't the tomatoes I didn't like. It was what was on the tomatoes that I didn't like. So how's the tomatoes? Are they pretty sweet? Not too bad?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So now we're going to go ahead and pass these around. And this is the tomatoes that you normally, how you normally clean them and how you normally eat them. And let's see if we notice a difference, or who can notice a difference in the taste.
Sour.
Oh, you got to get a picture of these faces. Look at the face. Look at the difference in the taste. So that now you understand why I didn't like tomatoes. Like I said, it wasn't the tomatoes I didn't like. It was what was on the tomatoes that I didn't like. Everyone notice the difference? Absolutely. Yes. The first one was much better. The first one tasted more like you got it out of the garden, right? And it was natural and no pesticides, and it was sweet. Even the texture's a little different. And the second one, you guys, because guess what? You were eating the tomatoes with this on there. And that will definitely affect the taste. And guess what? When you clean your produce with this Kangen water, the strong Kangen water, your produce will last a week or so longer. So one of the other benefits of this technology and the different waters that we can make that you can use in your home for different purposes.
You've just seen why people everywhere are discovering the life-changing power of Kangen water. Now see how people are also reaping great financial rewards with Enagic's unprecedented compensation plan.
Hey, what's up everyone? Aldrin Vicente here, and I'm so excited to share with you the Enagic business model and kind of just give you guys a breakdown of the compensation plan and an overview of the company and how everything works. So check this out, guys. Enagic is in the direct sales industry, which is massive on a global scale. It's one of the largest industries out there. If you stack it up against top grossing industries like the NFL or music or movie, you'd see that direct sales in 2016 alone did $183 billion globally. The largest chunk of that went to the health and wellness category, which is and will always be the largest category in the entire industry. So here we go. Enagic is a leader in global health, and the company is already over 40 years old. Now, it's OEM. So what does that mean? That means they make everything from their devices to their packaging, so they have 100% control over their quality of manufacturing. And they're a member of the Direct Selling Association and the Better Business Bureau. This is a true global business, guys. That's what really got me excited, because I learned that your value is determined by how many people you serve and how well you serve them. So I saw Enagic and I'm like, okay, this is a true global business with water, which is a necessity for life, and they have offices all over the world. So no matter where you meet somebody, whether it's online or offline, you can serve them and their family. I think that's pretty awesome. Enagic is going to be the next mega trend. And I'll talk about that in a minute, but a couple reasons why I love this business is because there's no sign-up fee. There's no monthly qualifications. You don't have to stock up on product or inventory. There's no auto ship or subscription, no annual renewals, no de-ranking. That's big, guys. You know, you never lose your rank in this business. And there's no licensing required like a lot of the other industries out there. There's basically no gimmicks, you know? And it's accumulative sales. There's easy financing for everyone. And of course, there's international sponsoring since it's a global business. There's 9 ways to earn income, and it pays daily. Now, when it comes to the megatrend thing, you want to position yourself in front of something that almost nobody knows about, yet the majority will own. And this is one of those things, guys. This is the next kitchen appliance. 0.1% of the people out there know about Kangen water. That means that you can talk to 1,000 people and 999 of them have no idea what Kangen water is, but I guarantee they're all going to want it because everybody drinks water and everybody wants to know what makes them healthy, right? So these are some of the other mega trends out there. Let's talk about the smartphone. Everybody already had a cell phone when the smartphone came out, and the majority of the people didn't even want it. Listen, they're gonna get it, they just don't know it yet. You know, they already had their flip phones and they weren't interested in it. Just give it time. Same thing as these flat screen TVs. Everybody already had 5 TVs in the house. But listen, give it time and the majority of the people will own it. Now, guess what? Almost everybody has flat screen TVs. Now, Kangen water is literally going to be the largest trend that most people have seen. The reason being is, guys, We can't drink bottled water forever. In the United States alone, 29 billion bottles are thrown away every single year. Nobody's living under a rock. People know what's in their water, they just don't know what the solution is. That's why this business is so duplicatable, because we're educating people on really healthy water all over the world. Everybody's already buying it every single day. Most people are overpaying for it. The majority of them are uneducated on what's actually in their water, and most of it is doing more harm than good. So everything just checked out for me. You know, Enagic built a solid foundation in the Japanese market. It's a proven product emerging in brand new markets all over the world, so they have a track record, and there's global expansion. It's in health and wellness. Guys, everybody is looking to get healthy these days because health is wealth. And this is a true direct sales business. This is not multi-level marketing. It's not one of those pyramid things where, you know, like, hey, go get your 5 friends and then help them get their 5 friends and so on and so forth, blah, 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 blah. No, this is a lot like real estate. It's over and down. So say, for instance, you know, you have an agent and a broker. I would rather be the broker because an agent has to sell a house to make money. But the broker can have 50 different agents working for them, and every single time one of them sells a house, he gets a cut. That's how it works. It's actually so unique that they patented their compensation plan. It's called the 8-point commission system, right? So let's take the K8 for instance, $49.80. And my buddy told me that, and I'm like, okay, no big deal, $50. And he's like, no, dude, it's $4,980. I said, okay, well, you know, I see the value. Can I finance it? And he's like, yeah, you know, there's easy financing for everyone. So every single time a machine is sold, 8 points are paid out to the distributors. And depending on which machine it is determines how much each point is worth. So for the K8, each point is worth $340. Depending on where you are in the business model determines how many points you get. So remember, only 8 points are paid out to the distributors for every sale, okay? So sometimes you get a check for $340, sometimes they're checks for $2,040. It just depends on where you fall into the business model, and I'll go ahead and explain that. Let's say you just got started. It doesn't matter what machine you invest in because they all come with distributor IDs, which is basically a referral code. It's something you would use to share this with a friend or family member. Now, on your first direct sell, you sell to your friend Matt, and he buys a K8. You're gonna get a check for $340. And on your second direct sell, you sell to your friend Mike, and he also buys a K8. You're gonna get another check for $340. Now, that's pretty cool. That's still good money, but that's still linear income. Meaning what? Meaning you sold a machine and you got paid. So where's the leverage in this business? Well, not only did you get paid $340, but you also opened up 2 separate 1-point franchise lanes. So let's say Matt just drinks the water, but Mike likes the business also, and he goes out there and he sells 5 machines. He's gonna get a check 5 times. You are also gonna get a 1-point check 5 times because Mike is in your 1-point franchise lane. Now, on your third direct sell, you sell to your friend Ben. Now, this time you get a check for $680. So why $680 instead of $340? Because you just got promoted. Now you're earning 2 points from every sell in that franchise lane. But Ben is like, okay, this is a cool business. You know, I love the water. I think this can help a lot of people. And he goes out there and he sells 5 machines in his first month. Ben will get $340, $340, $680, $680, $680. But you, since Ben is in your 2-point franchise lane, you're gonna get $680, $680, $680, $680, $680. 5 times. That's where the leverage kicks in. Let's say you only sell those 3 machines, Matt, Mike, and Ben. But Ben goes out there and sells 7. Now that you have 10 total group sales, on your next direct sell, you sell to your friend Kim. Now you're gonna get a check for $1,020. Okay, so what do I mean by indirect sales? Meaning you don't need to sell all the machines yourself. That's why there's so much leverage in Enagic. And so after Kim buys her machine, you get $1,020. But Kim has a great network and she goes out there and sells 10 machines. You're gonna get a check for $1,020 10 times because Kim is in your 3-point franchise lane. Again, you get promoted after you have 20 total group sales. And now you bring in your friend Bailey and she buys a K8. You're gonna make $1,360 for 1 machine, guys. Here's the thing. When Bailey goes out there and sells her first 5 machines, Bailey's gonna make $340, $340, $680, $680, $680. But since Bailey is in your 4-point franchise, you're gonna make $1,360, $1,360, 1360, 1360, 1360, 5 times. That's what got me so excited about Enagic. And then again, you get promoted after you have 50 total group sales. Now you're making 1,700 per machine in that franchise. And oh, here's the thing, guys. There's no D ranking in this business. So once you hit these ranks, you can never go backwards, ever. It's not like those other programs out there where you had to requalify every single month. And then you hit 6A when you get 100 total group sales in your business. Now you're making 2,040. Now, I know what you're thinking. How am I gonna sell 100 of these? When my friend hit 6A, he personally only sold 8 machines. And through those 8 people, he built leaders that got passionate about this water also. And they sold the other 92 and he became a 6A. So he sold 8 machines, but he received over 100 checks. So let me explain the point system really quick, because remember, Enagic only pays out 8 points per sale. Let's say you just sold a machine to your friend Evan, but you're a great leader and you actually help Evan achieve the rank of 4A, and he sells to his friend Julian. Evan's gonna get a check for $1,360. Since you're a 6A, you're probably expecting a $2,040 check, but you only get $1,360. Why is that? Evan took 4 points out of the 8, meaning there was only 4 left over for you. So even though you were a 6-point agent, there were only 4 points left over. And then the person above you gets cut off. That's exactly why this is not multi-level marketing. It's not one of those things where the person at the top makes all the money off the people at the bottom. So what happens after you hit 6A? For the rest of your life, you open up nothing but 6-point franchise lanes every single time you have a direct sale. And if it's outside your 8 points, meaning you would typically be cut off from the commissions, they start to actually pay you an educational bonus of $200 per sale. So after you hit 6A, you get a $3,000 bonus check. But remember, that's not the top rank. To hit 6A2 and Dash 2 and all those, basically what you're doing is helping to build leaders and helping other people achieve the rank of 6A. What really caught my attention was 6A2-3, where you actually get a one-time bonus of $25,000. But that's not it. What got me even more excited was that the company would actually start paying you a $5,000 a month bonus for life, no matter what. So I saw that as an exit strategy, because the company doesn't expect you to sell machines forever. You can actually will this down to your children. So no matter what you do in this business, you can pass it down to your kids. And that's going to help you create generational wealth for your family. In Robert Kiyosaki's book, The Cash Flow Quadrant, I actually learned that there are 4 different ways to earn money in this economy. You're either an employee, you're self-employed, you're a business owner, or you're an investor. Now, most people start off as an employee, and that's perfectly fine, but you're basically trading time for money. You're clocking in, you're clocking out, you're getting paid. And one thing I realized is there's 168 hours in the week, and I know for sure you can't work them all, right? So that doesn't work. So that's why a lot of people transition into being self-employed. These are your lawyers, your doctors, your dentists, and their pay goes up, but there's still no leverage because they're still trading time for money. So now they don't have a job, but they own a job. That's why so many people want to be business owners and investors, because as a business owner, you own a system that works for you, that offers you leverage and time freedom. And now that you're ahead of the bills and you have excess money, then you can become an investor. And it doesn't matter what you invest in, but that's when you make the money work for you. A recent survey showed that 84% of the people out there actually have a positive outlook on entrepreneurship, and 51% of them can even imagine themselves starting a business. And 100% of them all drink water. What if you can not only invest in your family's health, but you can also invest in a true global business and have the opportunity to really share this with people all over the world and add value to their family's life also? It's really simple. All you need to do is share the Kangen water. Give it to your loved ones and see what it does for them. You know, people are already buying water anyway. This is just a better water to invest in rather than an expense that they'll have to pay forever. And then share some information, whether it's a video or a website or maybe a brochure, or maybe even sharing your story of what it did for you or one of your family members. And then follow up with them and of course have fun. And remember, this business pays daily, so you never know when you're gonna get a nice surprise in the mailbox.